Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to sunny Fontana, California. Here we are at Auto Club Speedway for the Daily Drivers Inc. Racing League Truck Series, Race 5 of the inaugural season, and I am here with my tag team partner, Dalton Geyer. My name is Zach Panzarella. We've been here with you guys week in and week out, covering one of the most exciting iRacing leagues we've ever seen, and we are here for another awesome race at an amazing and iconic racetrack that, as a California native myself, is very, very much missed. But let's not focus on the negative, let's focus on the positive. We have a time machine here in iRacing, so we can come back and revisit these iconic racetracks, and that's exactly what we're doing today, and I could not be more excited. How you doing today, Dalton?
I'm doing great. Excited for this one. Fontana, always such an exciting track. You know, you can see 4, even 5 wide around here. It's such a wide track. And I'm expecting that today. A lot of bold moves around this track.
Yeah, like you just said, a very, very wide track. So many racing lines available to these drivers. And so often it's the temperature that controls really the way this race goes. If it's too hot, you might see it become a top dominant race. If it's too cold, you might see the bottom become too dominant, with the top not able to really use those advantages. But right here today, Dalton, I'll pull up the info. I think we're looking at just absolutely perfect conditions here in July in Fontana, California. I mean, this is why people pay exorbitant amounts of money to live in this part of the country, because the weather here could not be any better. 84 degrees on the racetrack and 79 degrees outside right now.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it? It's it's perfect weather for a race. And you know, you mentioned that we're in sunny California. It's not going to be sunny for very long. The sun is going to set probably just before this thing starts. This race is going to take place under the lights, so that'll definitely play into how these tires wear.
That is a really, really good point, Dalton. I totally forgot to mention that. Those lights will be illuminating very, very shortly. So that California sun is actually going to leave us, and the temperatures are only going to decrease with that as it gets cooler and the night sky takes over. Again, we are in California, so the drop-off won't be that dramatic, right? But it's definitely not going to get any hotter, so the times are only going to get faster, and the racers are only going to get quicker, which means the action should only get more intense. But before we get started, let's take a look at our standings going into this race. Here we are right now. Zach Panzarella, after a big mistake over at Chicago, currently on probation for this race, Dalton, creating a turn 1 incident that delivered damage and just problems to about half the field there on turn 1, lap 1 at Chicago, and then proceeding later in the race to just completely Cody Ware himself into the tire barrier on the backstretch. So Zach Panzarella ends up bringing it home 15th place last week when he likely had top 5 speed. So lucky, I should say, to be holding on to that 20-point advantage that he has right now over Patrick Calgill. But Calgill is really fast at these flat 2-milers, or flatter 2-milers, I should say, Dalton. So I'll have my eye on Calgill running second today going into this race. Third place is Alex Simon. He has been so consistent, so solid all year, and we are just waiting for that guy to park it in victory lane. This track, very, very big on tire wear. We've seen Hillman continue to improve on that. We'll see what he's able to do today. Stephen Kirby tied with Hillman going into this race, but he's not going to make it today, Dalton. He told us going into this one that he has a prior engagement and cannot make the flight over to California to make this race. So we will talk a little bit about the drop race and why that's not the end of the world for Kirby, but we will not be seeing him in third place, I don't think, after this race is over. I can almost guarantee you that. And then rounding out the top 6, really, since there is that tie for third, is Danny Sanchez and Cody Matthews.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how far he drops, because, yeah, like you said, we do have that drop week kicking in here. And, sorry, I can't really fully see, but I don't think he's missed a race yet, has he?
Kirby has missed 1, so he actually only has 3 races. He's just been so good when he has showed up. He has finished in the top 10 every race that he has raced.
Yeah, we'll see just how far he falls on this one. But yeah, I'm looking at those top 3 guys. This is a track that really kind of plays into all those guys' strengths here. So I'm really going to be interested to see what just those top 3 guys do.
Me as well, and I know this is a track that all 3 of them like. Panzarella has a win here over an MRL and almost has 2 if it wasn't for an incident with a certain driver on MRL a couple months ago, but a track that I know Panzarella loves. Patrick Calgill, nearly unbeatable summer like Michigan, so you know he loves Auto Club nearly identical to that track. Going to the rest of the standings, we have another tie right below Cody Matthews there of Black Wolf Racing, and that's Quesabir and Easter Day. Quesabir has not showed up yet. I know he's dealing with internet issues. That is not a voluntary absence if we do miss Quesabir today. But we'll have to keep our eye on that. Colton Easterday already in here, putting in laps. But Easterday telling the Discord earlier, not a track he loves. So we'll have to keep our eye on that 95 and see how he runs today. So much speed the past couple of weeks and a win for that 95 truck. But not the finish that he wanted last week in Chicago after having so much speed. We'll see what he's able to do today. Below that, we have Dalton Geyer, another staple of consistency in this league. But really, with just the competition and the parity in this league, holding on to the second to last, the penultimate chase spot right there, with Mark Zab being the last driver if the season was to end today. He'd be the last driver to make the chase, but it's only 2 points back to Lolis, then another 2 back to Hillman, and then 1 from there to Delgado. So it's incredibly tight up there. And then again, just 1 more back to Graham McGivern. So 1 slip up, Dalton, and you can find yourself either in or out of this chase right now.
For sure. And looking at it now, we only have 18 guys here today. So, I mean, just showing up is going to net you a lot of points, honestly. It's a guaranteed top 20, but you're still going to want that good result. You're going to want that top 10, get, maybe a playoff point, top 5, even more playoff points. Of course, a win, the most playoff points you can come away with.
Yeah, there's nothing like a win, especially in this league. This league with no winning you're in, kind of a way to, I don't want to say fix that, because I think winning you're in is what needs fixing, right, Dalton? But a way to kind of meet these drivers in between. A lot of points come with a W here in the DDIRL. You get the bonus points that will carry you all the way, or come with you all the way to the chase, plus the 10 bonus or in-race bonus points for winning. So you really do come home with a lion's share of points, especially if you're able to control a race and win it. I mean, that's, again, Stephen Kirby, only 3 races to a lot of other guys is 4, and yet he finds himself tied for 3rd in the standings.
Yeah, and that guy's running up front pretty much every single week at this point. So I can't imagine, even with missing this week, that he'll fall very far down, and I think he's only going to keep putting up those results.
And there on screen is a little refresher for you guys of what the bonus points are in this league. On the right side, you see the in-race bonus points. So that's what the drivers can collect to add to their points in the race itself. But what you see on the left, all those move on to the chase with you. So this is a little bit different than the chase system was last time the NASCAR Cup Series used this, where they all started even. These guys are going to be able to carry those points on up with them. So perfect attendance being a big one, Dalton. The 0Xs, I mean, like you said, just so many benefits to actually showing up to these races.
Yeah, that 0X, those add up. That's a potential for 10 bonus points there. Of course, you'd have to be perfect at that point, but it's still all on the table, even if you don't have the speed to get up into the top 10, or and then the perfect attendance. If you're showing up every week, and you keep that 0X through the whole thing, you're going in with 20 bonus points.
Yeah, good point.
And that's if you have no speed,
Right. Not to mention, if you're running 0X races, good chance you're finishing well. Even if you don't have the same speed as the leaders, if you're not hitting anything, there's a good chance you're finishing well. But I mean, in this league, you never know. I mean, what are you expecting here today, Dalton? We got a fast track with a lot of room to race, but a very respectful field. I mean, dare I say, maybe the most respectful field I've ever seen. We've been to so many tracks and haven't seen cautions where you think you would. I mean, obviously, Iowa comes to mind, but there's other places too. When we went to Michigan to start the exhibition series for this league, I believe we went caution-free there as well. So I'm very curious of what we're going to see today.
I don't believe we went caution-free at Michigan. I believe that was actually... We had a few cautions there, and I think that was the race we had over 30. We had like 40 guys.
Oh, right.
My
bad.
I think
you were right.
That was a big one. Of course, that field pretty much halved today, down to 18. So I guess less cars to cause incidents. But at the same time, this is the type of track that usually that top side ends up being the dominant one. Mm-hmm. And So it gets really hard to kind of send it in and make those passes using that bottom lane, which if you're stuck beside somebody for multiple laps, you start to get frustrated. You're thinking, okay, I need to push it in a little further. I need to, just not lift out of this corner, and then, all of a sudden you're into that car on the outside wall. So it's one of those tracks, man, where that can lead to a lot of frustration.
Yeah, it really, really can, Dalton. This track's so interesting in that way. And it also can be so misleading. The tires fall off so quickly. Paying close attention right now to these practice laps these drivers are putting down in the fall off, Dalton. It's significant. I'm looking at 2/10, 3/10 once you get to a certain point in the run. So these guys are going to be dealing with that as we are getting close here to qualifying time. So before we do that, just a couple quick shout outs we want to give you guys. On screen right now, you see the Daily Drivers Inc. Racing League merch. This merch is available on dailydriversinc.com. Until the end of July, use the discount code DDIRL to get 40% off your order plus a DDI gift pack. So that will include stuff like lanyards, stickers, air fresheners, fun stuff like that. So don't miss out on that opportunity to pick up an awesome piece of merch for cheap for DDIRL. We got a bunch of new designs, and but first we got to get through these ones, Dalton. And then secondly, wish I had a logo for it, but I don't right now. But this race is sponsored by KK Woodscapes. Check out KK Woodscapes on Instagram. This is the KK Woodscapes 150 here at Auto Club. That company is run by California native Kevin Kyle. Kevin Kyle just creates some of the most impressive wooden trophies you will ever see for any iRacing accomplishment you have. Maybe your first top five, maybe your first pole, maybe your first win, or maybe your 50th win. KK Woodscapes has you covered. They normally do trophies in the shape of the track itself, which are just so cool, Dalton. I'm very proud of the ones I have. Some of my favorite things I own, and really always in the back of my head when you're out here putting down, hard laps and close to a win. You're always thinking about that trophy on the other side. So just excited to have them sponsoring this race, and would love more people to be able to experience that awesome feeling of having the amazing memento of a great accomplishment, something that's so difficult to do. So very, very big shout out to KK Woodscapes. So excited to have them as a sponsor of today's race.
Yeah, I think the thing I like most about those, and I think we all have, I think most of us probably are sharing a house with other people. Yes. And with limited space, it's hard to find room for a trophy, but usually these you can hang them on the wall.
Yeah,
that I feel like that's the and that takes up a lot less space, and you can still display it, as and you can show it to your friends and say, hey, look at this.
Yeah,
this race I won.
I have like this weird spot above my closet in my bedroom, and it's like the perfect size for them. And so I just have a row of trophies, and it looks so cool. And shout out to my beautiful and amazing wife for allowing me to do that, because like you said, most of us share rooms with people or share houses with people. And she even likes it. Honestly, she gets excited about when I win races, and she gets excited about adding to the wall of fame, as I like to call it. But it's so awesome to have, and honestly, Dalton, one of my favorite things about winning a race. Definitely so cool. But let's go ahead and move into qualifying here. We'll keep our eye here on Jerry Rose to start this off, I believe, Dalton. Jerry Rose has been showing so much improvement the past few weeks, has he not?
He has. He picked up a top 10 at the road course. Was real consistent around there. He's been real quick these last few weeks.
Yeah, he's been just working hard, and it's showing. And there, Panzarella, our current points leader. We've talked a little bit about Panzarella at this racetrack and how much he likes it. And also you can see, Dalton, that California sun starting to set. We're getting a gorgeous sunset here at Fontana. Man, I'm going to miss this racetrack as you see Panzarella put in what I believe is his first lap. I'll go ahead and pull up our current standings as they run, and we'll see what that is for Panzarella. Looks like that is his last lap. And I'm actually not going to pull up our standings because SDK, which is our software for those who don't know, hates us during this, Dalton. Just hates us.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah, you were talking about this track and it not being around anymore. Yeah, it's a shame that this beautiful place basically got just torn down And I know they had plans to restructure it to like a half miler, but if you look at kind of some of the aerial shots that that people have been getting with their drones, it's not
Not looking
looking
good.
too good on
No.
that, because you can see the warehouses that are like already where 1 and 2 used to be, that I'm not sure if those are going to stay there. They probably will, but yeah, Michigan's kind of the last the last man standing as far as
Yeah.
tracks like this.
Yep. It's these special 2-mile tracks. But yeah, Dalton, we were bamboozled, hoodwinked, lied to, whatever else Stephen A. Smith said. All those words, because yeah, I don't think they're bringing it back. The idea for this track was, I think, to use the pit lane, correct me if I'm wrong here, as the back stretch, and the current front stretch as the front stretch, and kind of make it like a Martinsville with banking. And they've sort of done that. The turns aren't there, but you know what is there, Dalton? Is warehouses about 5 feet away from the freaking track. So that's what I think a lot of people are looking at and thinking, well, that's not good. And again, you and I both live in California. People love to complain in California about loud noises that they signed up to live next to. Just look at Laguna Seca.
Yeah.
And so I don't have very much faith at all that track is going to, or this track is going to be restored to its anywhere close to its former glory. And on top of that, they said the plan was to build a like an entertainment center around the track. That's not happening with all those warehouses. So it's before we make each other angry right now, we can move on, because yeah, such a shame, such an amazing track, and RIP California Speedway.
On the bright side, we did get to see the last hurrah in person.
We did.
That's we got to be there for that. Was it 2023?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that 2023 weekend where it almost looked like it was going to get rained out. I think the Xfinity race got rained out,
dude.
But we got to see the doubleheader at least on Sunday. That was awesome.
Probably felt the least like a California race it's ever felt in my life in terms of how cold that one was. But yeah, you're not getting. That was a lot of fun. I also remember the year before that was the first year that NASCAR had moved over to the next gen. And, I mean, everyone always says this, the first race after Daytona or Atlanta now is the first real race, right? When we go to a real racetrack, we're not doing super speedway racing anymore. And not only was that the first quote-unquote real race, that was the first real race with the next gen, so no one knew what to expect. And that, by far, my favorite race I've ever been to. May or may not be related to Kyle Larson winning, but what a good time that was. Oh my god, what an incredible race. And so much of it is this awesome, awesome racetrack.
Yeah, and you can see, I mean, I don't know how much justice the sim does it, but like it's also, yeah, one of the most kind of beautiful surrounding areas. You can see the mountains in the background, which they've kind of replicated in the sim, but like really, I mean, nothing really does it justice.
No.
Like once you're there, it looks insane.
In person, it feels like they are like nearly touching the track when you're sitting on that front stretch. They're so. Like, maybe it's an optical illusion. It kind of looks like that. They look so close to the racetrack itself. It's so cool. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick 2-minute break, and we will be right back once these guys start grading up, and we'll hit you guys with your qualifying results.
Myself overwhelmed as a teardrop swell. I give it all just to hold you in my arms, just to hold you, yeah. Look at what I've lost, baby. Trail of blood, I'm leaving, running from the law lately, but I ain't repeating. Could have gone my way, but wouldn't have a heartbeat. What was I afraid of when the times got hard? Saying all this time I'm running and
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just a minute, or just over a minute until qualifying is wrapped up here, and we'll take a look at our results. We got some exciting results here for you. I'm looking at them right now, Dalton, and we got some surprises here, don't we not? I mean, don't give anything away yet, but we have some surprises.
Yeah, some names that you wouldn't expect up there, near the top for sure.
Gotta love to see it. These guys pushing themselves to get better week in, week out here in the DDIRL. And one thing I think that's so beneficial about getting better in this league is just the amount of laps you get to run, right? Especially under green. I mean, gosh, one of my least favorite things about officials sometimes is when I'm just there solely, to get better, to put in some extra laps, and we spend 40%, 50% of the race under yellow. It's like, well, this doesn't help.
No, that is that's not fun at all. I had one of those just the other day here. Yeah, definitely not fun to have that happen. Kind of feels like you waste your time. But yeah, hopefully we don't see much of the extracurricular activity today. We see a lot of green flag racing around here at this beautiful racetrack.
Let's hope, Dalton. Let's hope. And that's going to do it for qualifying. Let's pull up this grid. Oh, and we're even going to tease the results even more. Let me go back a little bit for you guys. Here we go. So on the pole, second time this season, going to be Zap Panzarella. He put on the pole over at Pocono, race 3, and he was able to win that race as well. So we'll see how that looks for Panzarella. Second place, sharing the front with him, someone I'm really excited to be watching today here, Dalton. Someone who absolutely dominated over at Iowa, I believe it was, but pit strategy just didn't work out for him. Cody Gibson, fastest in practice, and going to share the front row, just barely slower than the 12 of Panzarella. Third place belonging to third in points, Alex Hillman. I told you guys to look out for him today, and I told you the same thing about the guy who'll be sharing the second row with him, and that's going to be Patrick Calgill. He's going to be starting fourth place. And now we start with the surprises, Dalton. In fifth place, we got Jerry Rose, and then in sixth, we got Juan Delgado. Amazing qualifying efforts by the two drivers right there. Juan Delgado with a career best in this league. Great job by him. Dalton Geyer going to start in 7th place. A great qualifying effort from Dalton Geyer. 8th, blonde Cody Matthews. 9th, Graham McGivern. 10th, going to be Tommy Fox. I'll just rattle all these off, Dalton. 11th goes to Edward Peltz. 12th will be Colton Easterday. Easterday looking to recover from last week's misfortunes. Over in 13th place will be Zach Hillman. 14th, Dylan Beckman. 15th will be Chris Calgill. 16th, Glenn Grigsby. 17th, Ryan Newman. And Daniel Sanchez, the only car not putting down a time today. And the cars have rolled off, which means there's only one thing left to do, my friends.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, the star of Universal Pictures movie, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your
Engines have been started. Pace car is getting ready to pull off, Dalton, and we are getting ready to get underway here at Auto Club for the KK Woodscapes 150 at Fontana, California. California Speedway going to make us happy one more time. It's going to be Zach Panzarella leading them to green. Cody Gibson with an amazing start to this race where they're going off the flag, man. Zach did not have control of that restart, and you can tell right there, Cody Gibson going to be looking on the outside. Here we go. It's going to be cold tires through 1 and 2 here. We'll see how this entire field's able to make it through. Oh, loose moment for Jerry Rose. Oh, loose moment for Cody Gibson. Gibson in the wall hard.
Wow.
Crazy start to the race.
Yeah, kind of two simultaneous incidents there. It looks like Gibson got the wall there. Might have some damage as he slowed down the backstretch. I believe.
And there's Jerry Rose.
I believe Jerry Rose also had his loose moment. I think stayed loose, came back up onto the track just a little bit. Didn't have the room there because Geyer was there and he had somebody above him. But and so now Geyer down to 17th off of that, but somehow we're still green. How are we still green, Zach?
I could not believe it. We saw 2 cars completely sideways there. Cody Gibson just completely mollywops the wall. And yeah, like you said, we're going to stay green. Dalton Geyer, like you said, also getting not the worst of it because the car does not, or the truck does not look damaged, but a lot of fast trucks, a lot of trucks who qualified so well immediately brought to the back of this field. And we'll have to see the type of race we get here. Will it be a caution-ridden race, or will we stay green? As here we go for the lead. Patrick Calgill looking to the inside of the 12. Or outside, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Calgill really strong on the outside. That's kind of where you want to be, get that run off the corner, especially out of here. But Panzarella is still able to get the gas down, but not quite able to clear Calgill. And that's actually probably going to bring Alex Hillman back into this battle as well.
Yeah, this side-by-side action, not fast in terms of running single file. Behind Hillman, Juan Delgado escaping a lot of that mayhem, but also he qualified well, and he's getting the fruits of his labor right now. Delgado running 4th place on speed. Wow, what an improvement that car has shown. But Patrick Calgill right there going to collect a few bonus points. He's going to lead a lap here in the KK Woodscapes 150.
And you look a little further back at Cody Matthews there, rounding out the top 5. We haven't really talked very much about him since his dominant performance at Daytona, but nice to see him back up here in the top 5.
Yeah, Cody Matthews still kind of reaping the rewards of that amazing Daytona performance, and he's been solid since. A little bit of bad luck, especially late in races. Pocono comes to mind for Matthews, but he is still holding solid, and really in every type of racetrack showing the type of speed that he has in that 10 truck. Looking to the inside of Delgado right there, and like we talked about, this side-by-side action for the lead has really made this a 5-car battle for the lead. It's Hillman, Panzarella, Calgill, Delgado, and Matthews looking for the lead of this race, and Panzarella going to look to the inside of Calgill and take back the lead, and a beautiful crossover by the 31 of Calgill.
And that's going to line him up with, well, not quite his, oh, well, actually, Matthews ducking back in behind the pack there. He'd probably much rather be seeing Matthews in his rear view there than Hillman. Hillman and Panzarella, of course, not necessarily teammates, but you know, in that DDI stable. I guess also Matthews and Calgill, not necessarily teammates, but in that SWM stable, probably would like to get that lined up. So you see, that's Cody Gibson down pit road here. Looks like that damage was just a little too much to deal with, and so that's probably going to be the fast repair used here. We'll see if he can get a timely yellow and get that. He's probably going to lose a lap here, so we'll see if he can get that back.
Yeah, Gibson likely will lose a lap here because not only is he going to have to likely use that fast repair like you alluded to, Dalton, but he was not running where, you know, we're used to seeing someone like Cody Gibson run. Gibson had fallen back to the end of the field with that early mistake, so his track position not where he needs it. You see Juan Delgado right now on board with the 14, looking out his windshield at just absolute craziness between two daily drivers, Inc. drivers, and the, is it backpack? No, it's not backpack driver. I gotta get better at my teams, Dalton.
It's, I believe Black Wolf Racing.
I believe it is. I'm gonna double check for us.
That is the Cody Matthews.
It is SimWorld, SMW,
yeah,
actually.
There you go.
SMW, and Panzarella going to look to the inside, and man, the restraint from the Oeda Hillman has been impressive so far. He has had quite a few opportunities, Dalton, to take this thing 3 wide. Will he do it this time? Oh, he thought about it, but not quite.
You know, he does have the opportunity to do it here, but, you know, maybe just looking at that lap counter, seeing, hey, you know what, I got 70 laps. Maybe, you know, maybe I can get these guys to use up their tires a little bit. And, you know, get that, because that, you know, that's the advantage that's going to pay dividends here is that tire advantage. So maybe by having those front two guys race each other side by side, kind of wear each other out a little bit, you know, maybe he can just pick them off one at a time once a winner emerges from this.
Yeah, and this is a wild battle for the lead, and behind them it's just as good between Delgado and Matthews. Delgado doing a great job holding on to that 4th place, but you can see that 10 of Matthews has a ton of speed. He's going to look to the inside of Delgado here, try to complete the pass. Behind them, Tommy Fox. Tommy Fox been so impressive, so consistent this season. Softly into the wall goes the 14. That will kills momentum. A little bit spooked gets Tommy Fox. Tommy Fox, though, will have the inside lane here, but not quite the entry I think he'd like there, Dalton. I think a little bit lower. We'll see if he can complete the slide job here on Delgado. They'll likely come out side by side out of this corner, and We'll see if Delgado's able to keep that momentum. That's going to be fun to follow all day here, watching the top and the bottom race each other.
Yeah, you know, he gets that draft from Matthews up there. That's kind of crucial, having that car in front of you to tow you down the front stretch and the back stretch. And that's going to be the difference here, as Delgado able to keep Fox in his rear view.
Whoa, loose moment there for Panzarella, out of 2. You see Hillman. Hillman, we've talked a lot about it this season, has just improved so much on these long runs. And I know it's only lap 10, but these are only, we haven't mentioned it yet, Dalton. These are only, I think these drivers have told us about 27 lap runs. So we can expect these guys to be coming in just under 17 laps time. And with that said, if this thing was to stay green, you don't even have to go that far. And we are in the nitty-gritty already in terms of tire wear. These guys are feeling it. You're seeing it right there. Tommy Fox still looking at the inside of Delgado, top of your screen. But Panzarella and Cowgill continuing to put on a show for the lead here. These two, no strangers to racing one another for the lead.
Yeah, you know what? Another kind of layer to this with Hillman, I think, you know, this might kind of be, as he's actually just going to push. Take that draft.
Wow!
Oh, wow!
Bold move by the
Just
08.
barely had room. Yeah, it's gonna wash that dirty air over the front end of Panzarella there, and keep him from getting that run back to come back at Hillman.
Hillman's gonna not want to wait long, I think here. I mean, showing that aggression. Bold move by Hillman, made it stick. Gorgeous job by the 08. Maybe thanking Panzarella for what he did to him in Chicago last week. Hillman gonna look for the slide job.
Just like that. He's hungry, man. He's hungry. He barely lost that Iowa race. Just barely ran out of gas. Was it second place at, or no, third place at Chicago, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, another kind of, yeah, I believe it was third.
Yeah, because Cowgill, currently leading, was the second place car.
Yeah, so yeah, Hillman definitely hungry here. So we hear some chatter on the radio from, I think it was Jerry Rose and Hillman
Zach
now.
Hillman,
who are
yeah.
side by side.
Look at this. And look just how congested it is back here, Dalton. It's a totally different story from the 10th on back right here. This is the battle for 8th place, as Rose is going to maintain that in front of Zach Hillman. Zach Hillman, not the qualifying effort I think he expected from himself. Behind him, the 33 at Grant McGivern got those wheels fixed, looking much better this week, is he not? Matching now, and look at that! Hillman thinking about the squeeze there. This is some crazy, and I'm not gonna lie, good racing here. And looks like up front, another Hillman situation. Alex Hillman might be able to capture the lead here from Patrick Cowgill.
He's gonna need help though. He's gonna need that help from his stablemate. Yeah, no, he's gonna clear Cowgill. I expect to see a crossover here. So we'll see. Now, Cowgill just going to drop back in behind Hillman.
Hillman, it looks like, kind of anticipating the crossover a little bit, blocking off that bottom beautifully. And man, talk about using air to your advantage. Look what that did to the 31.
Yeah, that is not where you want to be in that corner. You know, when we did come here for that that race in real life, we had the spotter. Oh boy, we are 3 wide.
Let's do this thing.
Guy around the outside.
Guy, you're saying, get away from me.
Wide. Yeah.
So you guys have fun.
That's Beckman, Peltz, and Chris Cowgill. And then Grigsby just kind of waiting for these guys to figure it out.
And up front, and here, right there in that orange truck on the inside, that's Cody Gibson. 1 lap down, but he did take tires from what I saw there on the pit time there, Dalton. So these are 6-lap pressure tires. So not only Cody Gibson clearly using those. Oh my goodness, that was close. Wow.
Thanks, there.
Yeah, Ryan Newman, Jerry Rose, and it looks like, was that Danny Sanchez? Yes, it was with a big moment there.
Only one Gainbridge car here today.
I was about to say that, man. A little bit more simple today with Quesabir. It appears not making it today with those technical issues. So Quesabir, and man, did you see Cody Gibson just hug the bottom around 1 and 2? Wow.
That's what those fresher tires are going to do. But you're seeing the rest of the field though get to that point where they're, they could send it in pretty deep before, get back to the gas a lot earlier before, and now they're kind of getting to the point where they're figuring out that they can't, but they're figuring out that they're getting back to the gas too early by slapping the wall like that.
Yep, and wow, you saw Panzarella complete the pass on Calgill right there, and then looking to the inside of Hillman, and Hillman just putting on a textbook squeeze on the 12. Great job by Hillman right there to defend first place. Panzarella deciding right now if he wants to slot back in behind his teammate or to give it another shot. He's going to give it one more go on the inside. We'll see if the 12 can make it stick here. Patrick Calgill desperate for these two to stall each other out and take advantage of it. You know he's willing to take them 3 wide. Calgill not getting the exit he wanted there. Hillman certainly does, and Hillman's going to clear the 12 and maintain the lead of this race. So laps led now for the 08, the 12, and the 31, collecting bonus points here at Auto Club.
And all this battling, bringing Cody Matthews back into this thing, back in 4th place. He's already stalking Calgill here. We'll see if these guys continue to battle, if that gets even closer.
Yeah, you're seeing a little bit of a breakaway. I mean, it seemed like you just said it was a 3-car breakaway between Hillman, Panzarella, and Calgill, but never really leaving the party, and now very much joining it is the 10 of Cody Matthews. Very strong run from Cody Matthews. I'm sure Cody Matthews, I mean, while it is not easy to do what that 10 truck did at Daytona, it does make you hungry to do this at a track like this. Very challenging, and he is definitely doing that today. But up front, here goes Panzarella again, looking for the lead. He's going to put the side draft on the 08 of Hillman. He's going to try to get to the inside this time, send it a little bit deeper. Hillman not quite squeezing as hard. We'll see who's able to come out of here on top. Hillman versus Panzarella. Hillman into the wall just a little bit, but does maintain that momentum. He's going to be side by side, and the drafting help is going to go to the 08. Calgill going to push the 08 down that backstretch, and Dalton, we have not talked enough about that yet. I'm sure you guys have seen it over there at home, how big these drafts are and how big the runs are. Man, you have a decision to make if you're a Patrick Calgill in these situations when you approach one. Just watch how quickly this gap will close here. Look at that.
Yeah, just able to get right back to the quarter panels. Yeah, now just
Hillman
that dirty air though.
Hillman into the wall, loose,
Oh,
back into the
loose
wall.
Oh, wow.
And that's going to open the door for Calgill. That is what we were just talking about. That's the opportunity that Calgill needed. That's the window Panzarella had to check up, and now it's side by side, and Calgill with, I think, the advantageous lane here. And now you see Hillman trying to recover, and look at the top of your screen, Dalton. That's Cody Gibson looking to get his lap back the hard way.
Gibson's there. Another Cody that's there. Cody Matthews, he's around Hillman as well, trying to get, well, he'd like to get Cody Gibson by him. I'd imagine, you know, simplify things, get the lap car out of the way. Is Hillman now trying to get down to the inside? Holy cow.
What a drive-in by Hillman. He entered low, stuck it low, and somehow didn't drift up too bad. But Cody Gibson is a rocket ship right now. And those 6 lap pressure tires, I think not just, clearly benefiting him, but this has got to be a lesson for the rest of the field, does it not, Dalton? Telling these guys, I know when he pit, and man, that makes a big difference.
Makes a big difference indeed, as he's going to unlap himself. But we're coming up now on that first pit window here within the next few laps. If you want to split this, race 3 ways, come in 25 and 50, just make it a little 2-stopper. Some guys might come in a little earlier or a little later, just due to the variance in, you know, how much fuel these guys have. These guys have about 27, 28 laps of gas. So it'll be interesting to see when these guys choose to come in.
On top of that, Dalton, I think a lot of these guys, so again, this is a 75-lap race. I'm not good at math, as is notorious here on VRN about me. But I do know what 70... Oh, is Panzarella going to look to the outside here of Calgill? Can he complete the pass? Trying to use that draft of Gibson, and it looks like he's going to be able to. Panzarella back to the lead, the pole sitter and the points leader back on top. But to touch back on that, Dalton, you're also maybe thinking this field's starting to get a little bit separated. The caution may be few and far between here. Do you want to go for that undercut? Do you want to maybe set yourself up for a perfect 3-stopper? And what I'm talking about is pitting maybe a lap around lap maybe 25 or 26 instead of pushing to 27. So we'll have to keep our eyes out on that and see what these guys want to do and the vibe of the race they're feeling here, as Calgill not satisfied in second place, looking for that lead back.
And this is actually not a very difficult pit road, honestly. You have a lot of room to kind of get everything slowed down, but you know, I do wonder if these guys are going to want to run long just in case something happens on that pit road entry, as you know, can happen if communication goes awry or any number of things.
No, you're very right. This is an overall easy pit road, like you said. But I mean, is there a such thing as an actual easy one? I mean, you talk about Pocono, it's a dead straight line, and you see how many people speed or in some cases even hit the barrels there. You see also our eyes on Wendell Delgado, Dalton Geyer, and that is Zach Hillman right there. Geyer going to look to the inside of Hillman. This would be a pass for 8th place. The 36 fell all the way back down to 17th, like we talked about in that lap 1 incident, and has just done a masterful job working through the field, clean as a whistle as well, not a scratch on that 36, as he's had to make more passes than anybody else in the field, and he now is in 8th place. Delgado with so much raw speed, Dalton, but sometimes with an inexperienced driver, which Delgado very much is. Delgado still under about 6-8 months altogether on the platform, so just extremely impressive to be running where he is. But what you see all too often with guys like this, especially when they have qualifying speed like that, Dalton, is just falling off at a little bit of a concerning rate.
You know, and I think if you look at the tail end, I think he does have a little bit of damage on that car.
Yeah, he does. You're right.
Bent in just a little bit. I'm not sure where that happened, but that's got to be messing with the aero a little bit.
There it is, right there. On the, if you look to the right of the tail, or the tail right there, and you can see Delgado struggling even to keep the car driving straight, and I do not blame him. That damage is far and away, Dalton, my least favorite. Far and away. And here we go into the pits for our first pit stop in concerning a leader, and that is going to be Patrick Cowgill, going to bring it down the pits. There he is, the 31, lap 27, well, really 26, coming to 27. So a little bit like we talked about his brother as well, Chris Cowgill, going to follow suit. But that's going to be the first car in the pits here today. We'll have to see how our leaders respond to that, or the other leaders should say, Cody Matthews and Zap Panzarella. Matthews 2 seconds behind Panzarella. Panzarella had opened up about a half-second lead there on Cowgill, but Dalton, the delta from the start of the race and the laps those guys were putting down was well over a second. So we'll have to see also how big of an advantage that undercut is, depending on when that 12 comes in. It looks like it's going to be, wow, loose moment for the 12, but it's going to be this lap.
Yeah, and I'm hearing a lot of guys calling out that they're pitting this lap. We're probably going to see at least half the field follow Panzarella here.
Fox.
Yeah, Hillman, Fox.
McGivern,
Delgado.
Jerry Rose going to bring it down.
Yeah.
Pelt's going to bring it down. So, yeah, about half the field right there, Dalton. That's going to hand the lead to Cody Matthews, and he actually did get to lead a lap there. So Cody Matthews is going to collect bonus points as well. That will be our 4th driver. And there you see right there, that is Patrick Cowgill rejoining the track. Cowgill would have been a lap down if he had not gotten around the 10. If I'm the 31 and I'm going off what happened to Cody Gibson, I'm thinking that's a really good sign. But here we go. It's going to be Matthews bringing it down this time. Let's keep our eyes, though, on Patrick Cowgill and see where he cycles out around Zap Panzarella.
You saw Easterday staying out. He's going to run probably the longest. And
there
I think is Newman staying out as well? I believe. Yeah, Easterday and Newman.
Teammates right there going to stay out.
Yeah, the gold
and
octopus.
Look at this. There's the undercut for you, Dalton, as the 31 right at the exit of 2 going to get around the 12, and the 12 still trying to build up that speed. Not to mention, we may see it here. This is a loose corner on cold tires, so it's going to take that 12 a minute to get that truck underneath him. So we'll see what the damage is in terms of time delta behind Cowgill, as Easterday going to likely bring in this lap. There it is. Great job by Easterday, stretching it all the way to 29. If this thing was to go the distance, that would likely be a big benefit for that 95.
Yeah, that's going to get him that lap lead bonus, too.
That, too.
A little bit extra there. Oh, you see that new paint scheme for Ryan Newman this week?
That's a good-looking paint scheme. Macho.
Yeah, I think is what you meant to say.
Oh, yeah. I don't do a good Macho, man. I never tried, but that was my first try, and that was not good.
Well, here's the thing about a track like Auto Club. It's that the cream of the crop. The cream always rises to the top, yeah.
Yeah, brother. Yeah. Well, Speaking of the cream of the crop, Dalton, because this number 5 truck certainly is, and that number race car normally is. He did inherit the race. We talked a lot about Cody Gibson as, wow, the 31 blows his doors off, and that was for position, and that's what 20 laps tire difference will do for you. That's Panzarella hot in pursuit of the 31. But Cody Gibson, man, Dalton, we know that. I mean, we all know how much speed that 5 has. Again, fastest in practice, really, really good in qualifying. Just an early incident putting him behind the 8 ball. But this strategy that Gibson has chosen, especially with taking those tires on lap 6, which I thought was a brilliant call. These drivers given 4 sets of tires. If this thing was to stay green, this is only 2 scheduled pit stops. So that's 2 sets of tires that you could hypothetically kind of do whatever you want with, right? So a great move by Gibson to do that. So, sorry, what I'm getting at, Dalton, is if a caution was to fall at the right time, that could actually end up being a brilliant, unintentional, albeit, strategy for the 5 of Gibson.
Yeah, he's found a way to... Did he get to lead a lap? I think he did.
He did. He got to lead a handful there to Gibson. So he also got, if the caution does never come out, and that will likely end up cycling out to, maybe a 16th or so with the pace he has, that will help, right? Those bonus points could nab you a position or two.
It'll certainly soften the blow.
On screen right now, you see Chris Calgill, who actually ran it short with Patrick. They were the earliest on that entire cycle to bring it down. You see Panzarella has already taken out about, 700th, Dalton, from Patrick Calgill's lead as you look to your top left. But up here on screen, Chris Calgill following his brother in that same strategy, trying to hold on to his newfound track position. Calgill was not running in the top 10, I don't think, before that pit cycle, and that did move him up quite a bit, but now it's all about maintaining that. And up front, you're already kind of seeing it. Look at that. That did not take Panzarella long to get close to Calgill, but what did they always say, Dalton? Catching them is one thing, passing them is another.
Yeah, that's kind of the downside to the undercut here is when you're the first car that comes down pit road, you're going to be on the oldest tires. You are kind of the hunted no matter what. You don't get to be the hunter. You got to play defense pretty much that entire run if you're on those older tires.
I completely agree, and this is the time to experiment if you're Calgill. The only thing I worry about is the bed this kind of makes for you. Again, if this race does stay green, I mean, the odds of that happening are low, but they decrease with every lap we stay green, and this field gets more and more separated. Panzarella going to look to the inside of Calgill here. I'm thinking Calgill is going to fight him as hard as he possibly can, Dalton. One of the best ways to offset that tire advantage that Panzarella has, fight him and kill it.
Yeah, just keep him down there and keep him having to, basically if he wants the pass, he's going to have to throttle up earlier down there, using more wheel input, just wearing out that right front. And yeah, if he can make him do that, that's going to even out this battle pretty quickly.
Contrary to the first battle between these two as well, these guys, they have the boxing ring all to themselves right now. A 3-second lead over third place of Alex Hillman. So right now, these guys are able to just duke it out anything we want. Panzarella crazy loose coming out of 2 there. Man, it was a little bit hard to see, but that car was completely not underneath the driver of the 12. You see Hillman there on the top of your screen. That he is reeling them in, Dalton. Don't get me wrong. He is reeling them in. These guys could probably do this for about 10 more laps if they want to, but they do have the track to themselves right now to balance out, put on a show for all you guys watching here on VRN, the DDIRL, and these two, no stranger, like we said, to race each other hard and race each other for important spots. You see Panzarella going all the way to the bottom there, Dalton, trying to kill that side draft. If you want to explain to everyone at home what that side draft is and why you don't want that.
Yeah, this is shades of that first exhibition race at where were we? Kansas,
yes.
I believe, where these two dueled it out to the end. But yeah, if we're talking about the side draft, yeah, you're basically pulling the parachute on that car in front of you. If you can get right up beside them with that nose and just dump the air on the spoiler, as Panzarella is kind of trying to get to the outside, and that's where Panzarella wants to be.
Yep.
It's the outside, so he can get the run. He has the fresher tires. He can now get the run on the outside here, off of the corner, and hopefully clear him. What Calgill wanted to do there was probably dive in maybe a little deeper. We see, no, they're still side by side. Cowgill's still fighting.
Side drafting
Ooh,
hard,
big
hard
wobble.
these two are, but you're right about that. I think Dalton Panzarella trying to complete the pass on the inside of Cowgill, unable to, knowing he has that tire advantage, knowing how quickly he caught him, and thinking, okay, let me try that. Cowgill sends it in low, tries the cross for Panzarella, tries to read that, goes to the bottom, and Cowgill, that was an enormous send, Dalton, absolutely enormous by the 31. That was a last-ditch effort, I think, and I think I know the reason why, and we should have been talking more about this. Look at what lap it was. That was for the stage.
That was for the stage. Holy cow. Did Panzarella get him? I think Panzarella got him.
did get him. Cowgill went hard to the inside, I think trying likely to throw that slide job and then go in front of Panzarella, throw the block. Panzarella able to see that enormous send, go to the inside, take the lead, and take the stage win. This is an 18-driver race, so that means the top 7 collect stage points. So that would have been Panzarella taking the stage win, Cowgill 2nd place, 3rd place belonging to Alex Hillman, Cody Matthews 4th, 5th Danny Sanchez, 6th Chris Cowgill. Awesome strategy by Chris Cowgill. Shout out to him making that undercut work and getting stage points to show for it. And then 7th place, actually not able to complete the pass on Cowgill, Dalton, was Tommy Fox.
Yeah, that's some needed stage points there, and yeah, very very good strategy. Was able to kind of use that track position, play defense, hold them off just enough to maintain that position. And I think just with where McGivern and Geyer are right now, I think he was guaranteed at least one stage point. But to hang on and get that second one, that's a feat. As you see, Sanchez, I'm not sure. Does Sanchez have a bit of damage, or is? If he was up, I think maybe a little further.
Sanchez definitely actually Dalton very much on the side of the undercut. If my data is correct, which who knows, but if it is, Sanchez was actually even more on the side of the undercut than Cowgill was. Sanchez pit on lap 24. While
that explains it.
Yeah, so that would explain him falling off. I mean, I think old tires can look like damage here at Auto Club, so that would make a ton of sense. As you see, Sanchez doing a great job, mind you, but very much holding on to that 62 race car right now. But yeah, Dalton, I don't know how we missed that. I'm looking at all my data here, and that is far and away. And as we know, Sanchez part of, I believe, the Backpack Racing team. I'll double check that right now. He is. Okay. He did not pit with his teamates. You had a Hillman pit on 28. So very,
Hillman's
very...
They're not teammates.
Oh, I apologize.
It's I believe his only teammate here is Cody Gibson today.
You are right.
Because Lolis and who am I forgetting?
Yabara.
Yeah, Lolis and Ibarra not making it out today. So just a two-man stable out there for Backpack. But yeah, another person for which the undercut has worked out here and paid out some stage points is now Geyer on fresher tires. The both these guys going to try to figure out a way around here and not lose too much more time to the leaders.
Wow, what line adjustment by Dalton Geyer there on the inside. Entered high, saw that the corner was not there, that the cars in front of him were going to drift up, and then pivots low. Man, that stuff, it looks easy, but I can tell you right now, sitting here in this broadcaster booth, it is not. Great job by the 36 there. I think, again, that 36 not a scratch on it, and a lot of that because of this patience that he's showing right now. And also, Dalton, quick touch on that block. We'll see if he does it again. I love that sexy block from Sanchez last lap going into 1 and 2. That was nice. It was late, it was subtle, and it just murdered the air for the 0-2 of, the 0-3 of Chris Cowgill. And wow, there goes Geyer to the inside. Gonna go to 2-for-1 BOGO special here. And it looks like Kilgow has the same idea, but instead gonna slot behind the 36, try to help him out that draft. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, this should show you how important that is. Geyer sacrificing that drive off on the inside. And that really almost entirely fixed there by Chris Cowgill. And right there, Geyer even using the apron to get that truck a little bit loose. But look at that drive off it gives him. Another BOGO special. Man, this is Black Friday right now for the 36.
And this is the fresher tires paying dividends right here. As it really kind of opens up a lot more you can do down on the bottom of the track like this. Able to kind of crank it down to get that run off.
Woo!
But now Tommy Fox able to had to move up, had to make that move. Could
Awesome
not let the
defense.
62 back to the outside.
Got a bunch of just like runner test, Dennis Rodman type characters out here. Dalton, this is crazy. This defense being shown throughout this pack. Here goes Geyer with a brilliant run out of 4. Gonna look to the inside of the 57. He has the run. He's gonna want to get a little bit closer to the top on that entry. We'll see how that angle works out for Geyer. I think that's something we're gonna have to pay close attention to here today, is just how important that entry angle is. But man, those fresher tires just ripping that bottom like a slot car would, and just drifting up. And Geyer gonna inherit 5th place now in the top 5. Where he started is the 36. What a recovery, 17th to 5th. A lot of these cars have either been running where they started, Dalton, or far back behind that. Not picking on anyone, but Delgado and Gibson both started in the top 5, and they find themselves in 17th and 18th right now.
And this battle behind Guy are going to continue for 6th place. These guys,
this is a show.
Just going nuts back here.
Sanchez going to look at the inside of Fox. Sanchez, like we said, has the older tires. He's not going to let that bother him. And out of nowhere comes a wild Grant McGivern. And Zach Hillman says, I want to play.
As well.
This is awesome. Look at this. Hillman.
Oh, Hillman down to the inside.
And then
he's 3 wide here.
Grant McGivern. How often does that happen to you, Dalton, where you do a defensive move like you just saw McGivern do on the 3 of Hillman, and it ends up being an offensive move on the 03, thinking, oh, I guess I maybe can make this as a pass here, as McGivern stumbles into the inside lane there. He's not going to be able to complete it there against the 03, but they ran them down, Dalton. I'm not sure how much that was them racing one another, or just that 33 and that 3. If you have a 3 in your name and not a 0 behind it, or in front of it, I should say, tons of speed. Oh, Sanchez a little bit tight. Oh, man.
Yeah, and you see, it looks like Cowgill kind of the only one here using that very outside lane. We'll see if he stays up there. Yeah, he's kind of trying to stay up there, get clean air wherever he can find it.
Go on board with Cowgill. Let's watch the steering input, actually. Here we go. This is Chris Cowgill. And yeah, what I'm curious about here, Dalton, is that steering. Yeah, here we go, guys. I'm not sure if you heard that. He let off the throttle. There it is again. There it is again. Not wanting the benefits of that draft, but look at that lack of movement in the wheel. And that's why you use that top lane. You hear his tires yelling at him. Oh, McGivern's going to look to the inside.
That's a jump scare.
That's a jump scare if I've ever seen one. Woo! Let's look out from outside the car just for this moment right here. Here we go. McGivern going to look to the inside. McGivern's drive-off has been brilliant.
There you go. You see, yeah, a lot of different lines being run. Sanchez has been kind of running that high to low, that late A.
Oh. Sorry.
I don't know what sound just came from my colleague there.
Sorry.
But, oh, man. Let's see. What else we got? What else we got going on? Yeah, McGivern's still trying to get down under Tommy Fox. Now, you see.
Wow.
Just these guys just.
Oh, my God.
Depending on where the runs come in, just going anywhere from second in this line to the back of the line, just depending on the run they get.
And I just want to touch on this like for 2 seconds, Dalton. This is what like these guys, such good racers. I mean, like such good racers, and what they're dealing with, because this is how stressful leading a race is, Dalton. Panzarella just in a world of hurt right now, as is Cowgill.
Yeah.
But then you just go back to let's just revisit real quick. 10th place, absolute insanity. It's just hilarious to me.
Yeah, and you see that's I think
Fox.
Easter Day. Oh wow,
interesting. Oh, is he?
I think he's trying to stay away from that side draft.
That entry's gonna be ugly.
Now he actually kind of needs it, but. You see Easter Day coming back into the picture here. I think he's on fresher tires probably than any of these guys. And Tommy Fox is going to hit.
That's what I thought it had to be, Dalton, with that low entry. I don't know. I don't see damage on the 57 of Fox. I don't know what happened to his pace there, but that may hurt, Dalton. That was not a fast pit entry. We'll see how these other guys get on pit road, but again, never picking anybody. But Tommy Fox, a little bit conservative, I would say, there on that pit entry.
Yeah, and this is actually, it's such an easy pit entry that it becomes hard because it's so hard to figure out where you should be letting off. And
here comes Sanchez.
It's definitely easy to start too early and not want to get caught by the speeding police, but you actually do kind of want to get in a little deeper. I
agree.
Think where I was going was probably that turn 4 sign is, you get hard on the brakes there, but I think a lot of these guys kind of electing to be cautious here. Don't want to get caught by the speeding police, especially this late into a run where you're probably not going to get a caution to alleviate that.
Here comes Cowgill.
There goes Cowgill.
And you are right about that, Dalton. I would think that if you're a driver in this race right now, it's been 50 plus. You cannot bank on a caution anymore. You gotta approach this race as if it was green. You're gonna stay green the entire time. So Cowgill, we saw him undercut Panzarella by 1 lap on the previous run. That was able to give Cowgill the lead, Dalton. But on top of that, that was only about 0.5 seconds Cowgill had. Or I'm sorry, Cowgill was behind Panzarella entering that time.
That's a lot of the field coming down pit road.
There's quite a few. We got Matthews, McGivern, Easterday, Zach Hillman. We got Chris Cowgill, Dylan Beckman, Ryan Newman, Edward Peltz, Juan Delgado, and our leader Panzarella going to bring it in this time. So yeah, like I was leading to, that was a 2.5 second lead for Panzarella this time. We should see.
And hold on, I just heard something on the radio. I think that might have been the radio with Zach Hillman.
Yeah, where is Hillman?
So we look.
Trying to find
it looks like he had to. I think he had to.
Hillman's still in the pits.
Oh, actually, something happened.
Second pit stop. You're right.
I think I heard that his throttle. I think his throttle hung or something.
Yeah, I'm seeing
some kind of technical difficulty.
I see 3 in the count, Dalton, 2 for everybody else. So Hillman being counted for a 3rd pit stop without leaving pit lane. So great observation there. I think that was a technical issue there for Hillman. We didn't catch the issue itself happening, but that's the only reason something like that would happen. Hillman's still in the pits, is he? Brutal for such a fast car today. And look at that on screen. We said 2.5 seconds. That looks almost identical to the run before. I'm going to look at our pit times. That was 4 tires. Patrick Cowgill just whipping the ass of Zach Panzarella on and off pit road. He just made up over 3 seconds, Dalton. What a job by the 31 to give himself a chance to win this race. And don't want to gloss over this. Dalton Geyer, virtue of just an incredible recovery and also somehow, while passing trucks, managing to save more fuel than other trucks, led a lap. So Dalton's going to collect a bonus point there as well, I believe, becoming our 7th driver here in this field of 18 to collect said bonus point. So Dalton Geyer, what a recovery from the 36 there, is he's going to rejoin, and that's Cody Matthews going to go around him. Behind him is Sanchez. That's going to be, I believe, for the top 5. So Geyer, by stretching it, going to lose some track position, but has that advantage now, much like Panzarella will. But that's a, wow, great recovery from the 36. And I think if Gibson, to come back to that 5 real quick, if he didn't have such a dramatic incident to start this race, also would have been doing the same thing, but just a little bit too much for Gibson. He's going to need that caution as this thing cycles through.
And I don't think he was able to stretch it long enough to get back to the lead again. It looks like he's already made that second pit stop, has Gibson.
Yeah, I agree. He has. These guys stretching it longer. You're 100% right about that, Dalton. So Gibson, that caution can't save him now. Married to this, needing a caution just to get his lap back that way. And that would offset it, but he'd have to pass some cars. We'll see what happens. 20 to go. Cowgill now with a 1 second lead. 1 lap difference behind Panzarella. Looking at my data, he did take 4. Just got it done entering exit pit road against that 12. So we'll see how the Panzarella, how the 12 responds to that. Right there behind them is Delgado. Delgado a lap down. Those misfortunes. Such a hot rod that 14 was. But just, man, when there's no cautions like you're seeing with Gibson, nothing to save you.
Yeah, and I think that damage that came earlier in this race probably really kind of the setback that put him down. I'm not sure how he's ended up a lap down. I think either maybe opting to fix the damage, or maybe just maybe our one driver that got caught by the speeding police today. But still, yeah, unfortunate. It's a shame, and he's unfortunately at the mercy of the field as far as if he can get a caution here to get back on the lead lap. As it looks like Gibson has unlapped himself naturally. And yeah, so Delgado going to be the only car scored a lap down as Panzarella continues to close this gap to the leader Cowgill. And once again, Cowgill is the hunted, as he opted to be one of those kind of early cars down pit road. But yeah, Panzarella on these fresh tires. We'll see what he's willing to do to get this lead back. See further down the field, Geyer, Matthews, and Sanchez fighting for that third and fourth and fifth. Yeah, and Chris Cowgill's back in this as well.
Chris Cowgill using that strategy to give him the track position that he clearly deserved. I mean, as we've seen here, if your name isn't Dalton Geyer, it's extremely difficult to pass here. So, wow, what a job by Cowgill to get that track position. And another guy I want to shout out too, Danny Sanchez, Dalton. We talked about how early he pit in that cycle, very, very early. And he not only was able to hang on to that track position, but he pit with everybody else. He didn't pit early on this time, so he's even to everybody else, and he knows that 62 is a hot rod. Is up front. Looks like we have a battle for the lead. Panzarella looking to the inside of Cowgill. 16 to go, 15 across this time. Will Cowgill have anything for the 12? This could be the pass for the win.
Yeah, but Cowgill, we've seen Panzarella had to make that pass the first time on the outside. Is the same going to have to happen here? No, he's going to clear him.
Yeah, and will the crossover be available to Cowgill?
Further back. Colton Easter Day, I believe. And Graham McGivern, I'm not sure.
Oh, McGivern.
Exactly, but
McGivern.
Yeah, something happened with those two. Is I just heard the radio chatter that something had happened. I'm not sure what. But that's going to cost McGivern just a little bit of position here. We'll see how he recovers in these last 50 laps.
Let's take a look and see if we can find it. Yeah, we do have that technology available to us. Oh!
Yeah, just a little.
5 going to look to the inside of the 33 here. And I'm surprised we haven't seen this more today, Dalton, to be honest.
And McGivern running a little bit low, but what a save.
What a save!
Holy cow.
What a save by the 33 and McGivern. Damn.
You know what? When he was right behind his teammate Geyer, when he had to do the same thing out of 2 earlier, I think he learned from watching that. Is Cowgill now back on the attack on Panzarella for the lead?
So the crossover does happen after all, just about a lap later than we thought it would. And then Cowgill's going to complete it. He does. Cowgill back to lead. Panzarella reads it. Can go to the inside. Again, that's Delgado a lap down, watching his teammate, just thinking, oh boy, I probably shouldn't get involved in this. Side by side goes Cowgill and Panzarella into one. Panzarella with the advantage on the inside, but like we've talked about, Dalton, he's going to have to clear.
And shades of the stage finish there. It's Panzarella with the crossover to take the lead back. He knows he has the tire advantage, although probably not as much of a tire advantage as the last time. I think, what were those? What laps did these guys pit on?
It's the same as before. 1 lap tire difference. Panzarella following Cowgill a lap after he did. Cowgill just with a masterful job on and off pit road to get that lead, but it is still a 1 lap tire difference, which really, Dalton, surprising me the difference it makes.
Yeah, and Panzarella, the points leader, showing why he's definitely the person you don't want to give the tire advantage to, especially at this point in a race, because he is going to use all of that to put you under attack, and he's already back to the lead here.
Yeah, Panzarella, a lower incident driver, but certainly not a not aggressive one. Going to pressure you into mistakes, going to put the bumper to you and do everything he has to do to drive away. And also to talk about things to play with, really, Dalton. They, Calgill and Panzarella, they did not have that same, I want to say canvas or that ring that I spoke about earlier to box with, as they had 3 seconds to Hillman the previous run. This time, it was only about 1.8, and it was going down fast when they were side by side. You're seeing it now increasing again, these two seeming to be the class of the field, the 31 and the 12. But they did have to figure that one out quickly if they didn't want to make that a 3-car battle. But it really does seem like this race, if it is to stay green, 12 to go now, we are starting to see some separation, but not a ton. As we'll go through the field now. 3rd place, we got Alex Hillman. Again, only 2 seconds behind, and that really is where it ends in terms of, if we are to stay green, a chance to win this race. Dalton Geyer is going to be all the way back. It looks like he is, well, also lose connection right now. There we go. 9 seconds back, but in 4th place nonetheless. Dalton running that last one long, so on a tire advantage as well, more of a tire advantage than anyone else in this field. About a 1-lap advantage over the leader and a 1 to 2 over everybody else in front of him. But I think a little bit too late for Geyer and virtually everyone else behind him, just by no cautions, right, Dalton? These makes this race so simple as, oh man, Sanchez actually gets the wall there behind Calgill.
Yeah, these guys are dueling right here. And, you know, we talked about that hunger that Hillman had. You know, Chris Calgill here, he's got that hunger too. He wants to put this 62 in his rearview mirror. He wants to go fight his SWM Black Wolf stablemate up there, try to come out of this with the top 5.
Yeah, and he's done a great job so far. Calgill, he knows how to finish races, Dalton. He knows how to finish them well. And in a system like this, again, this is a chase system here in the DDIRL. Know when you're in. And while a lot of the playoff points, like a 0x, which I do think so far with this caution free race, a lot of these guys are going to be taking home those playoff points, which, I mean, again, Dalton, we talked a lot about before this race started, about the importance of showing up. Whether you are Grigsby, Beckman, Gibson, Peltz, Delgado, Hillman, running not as good of a race as I think you deserve and you deserve, there's a good chance you put together a 0x race, and that's bonus points that are going to follow you all the way to the chase if you are to make it. So Chris Calgill really starting to put down the foundation of what it takes to not only make the chase, but position yourself well once you are there. So this 03 car, very solid, very impressive, and same goes for Danny Sanchez, hanging out a little bit behind him in 7th place. What a drive today by the 62.
Yeah, hey, you know, we have kind of gotten used to seeing this 62 up near the front. I know he had a very good race at Iowa. Road courses weren't really his expertise, but I think still just by virtue of survival was able to get up into the top 10, and actually was the only I think the only 0x besides Kirby, the race winner. So was able to take those points home as well. So he's really been good at finding a way to maximize those points where he can get them.
Yeah, again, that 0x, that's going to follow you all the way to the chase. And Dan Sanchez, I think someone that all of us are very much expecting to see among those 10 final drivers, showing so much consistent speed no matter where we are, is that driver. And here we are side by side. This is Tommy Fox and Graham McGivern. This is the battle here for 9th place. These two, again, consistency, solidness. McGivern driving for 44 ever, the Daily Drivers Inc. I think what's considered to some the top team this year. In MRL, normally a Vortex member, but being I don't want to say promoted, but chosen for the 44 ever team this year, and he has done what he's had to. The second top driver in Chicago last week. Nice crossover by Fox. Fox reading McGivern like a book there. Great job, and this is a great battle here. 6 to go. Panzarella continuing to stretch the lead just a little bit on Calgill, really just trying to use those tires to his advantage and just praying to everything that is holy that a caution does not come out. Not probably good for Panzarella that this was happening, is 17 seconds behind him somewhere where he can't see.
Yeah, you know what? This is you talked about how Tommy Fox read Graham McGivern like a book there. You know, these are two guys who do know each other very well from racing in MRL. I think these guys interact a lot on the racetrack. Usually kind of find each other at this point in the race. And yeah, another one of those duels between these two.
And here's another guy just going through the field here we haven't touched enough on today, and that's Ryan Newman. First of all, talked about that awesome paint scheme. He's looking good and he's driving good. Ryan Newman, 11th placer. Yeah, doing a great job. Going to bring home another solid finish. Newman knocking on the door of a playoff spot, knocking on the door of the chase. If he does this enough time, if he cracks himself open enough Slim Jims, he might be able to find a way into the chase. And if you get Ryan Newman into there and he puts together enough runs like this, watch out. Same goes for the guy behind him. We talked about this guy earlier. Great qualifying effort. An incident in the beginning, but able to keep it in one piece, keep it off the wall and off any other race cars. Jerry Rose, he had a great run at the Chicago Road Course. Again, one of those drivers who just kept it out the wall, kept it out of trouble, and was able to bring home a good finish. And now here he is doing the same thing at Auto Club. Rose also relatively new to the platform, much like the 14 of Delgado, but just showing really, really encouraging. And I think if I'm a mid-pack guy in this league, a little bit scary signs of improvement Delgado and Rose are.
Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, those are going to be two. These guys also, I think, are they still under 1 year on the service?
Yeah, both of them. I mean,
yeah,
far,
not even
maybe half.
Not even a year of
Delgado.
time on this service. You know, these guys are just barely out of street stocks and legends. You know, still working on their licenses, I think, but still showing that improvement. You know, able to find speed and race around these guys. And I think definitely in this race, picking up on just what they need, what they need to learn, being students of the game, and just figuring out what they need to do next time.
Yeah, I completely agree. And also on top of that, Dalton, we're looking at Juan right now. He has that orange car behind Calgill, and we saw when Panzarella and Calgill were battling for that lead, Delgado was right behind them. And Delgado, a lap down, like we talked about, just the virtue of just bad luck. I think a fast repair not going the way he wanted it to. Maybe a button pressed wrong somewhere. But look at the speed that 14 has. I'm looking at the pit laps. He has the same age tires as the 31 does, Dalton. And he is just hanging out with Patrick Calgill. That 14 had top 5 speed today. And there's going to be a time very soon where it all comes together for him. And we see him getting a career finish. But today, we're going to take the white flag right now. And man, this thing got quiet towards the end. What another just incredible drive by this entire league. That's going to be the white flag, which what that means to me more than anything, Dalton, is we just completed another caution-free race here in the DDIRL. It's going to be Zach Panzarella right now bringing it around, going to try to put together one more good lap. It's going to be just 3 and 4 he needs. Patrick Calgill just over a second behind him, far too far away to make anything happen here. But this has just been a cut and dry race for the pole sitter, the points leader. Panzarella going to bring it back around 3 and 4 one last time for race 5 and the first repeat winner in Daily Drivers Inc. Racing League history. The 12 of Panzarella gets it done at his home state of Auto Club here in California Speedway. And Patrick Calgill with a much-deserved second place. Man, that guy fought so hard, and he had just a very, very fast race truck. It would have been interesting to see what would have happened if he had done his pits a little bit differently, but Calgill really high up in the points. Going to stay that way. Likely come out of here second in points. Third place, talking about points, Dalton. You got Alex Hillman. What a quiet and brilliant day from Hillman as he's going to give his teammate a little
trouble.
A little a head start on his donuts, maybe. Yeah, that's all that is. As Panzarella going to celebrate in the backstretch.
Just a miscalculation there.
And there goes that 0x for the 12.
Yeah. Let's do some backstretch burnouts here. Are there even grandstands out here in this area?
Hey, there's people in the trailers and the RVs that they want to show. Maybe in the mountains. There's someone, Dalton. That Panzarella.
Okay, he is bringing it back around.
Oh, he's gonna bring it back around,
okay.
and hopefully not throw it in the wall like he did last time. He was able to collect the win in this league at Pocono. Hopefully this 12 ready to pass inspection. But yeah, that is our first repeat winner if you don't include exhibitions. Stephen Kirby did take home an exhibition race and then went on to win Chicago last week in dominant fashion. Panzarella winning a exhibition race, but also winning Pocono and then bringing home this one, standing his points lead. But again, Dalton, I mean, this was an action-packed caution-free race, so we didn't get a ton of time to talk about it. But that drop race about to hit, so we'll see if that even really benefits Panzarella that much.
Hey, you know something? I do wonder if Panzarella now, after this win, if he's gonna head on over to KK Woodscapes, get himself a little souvenir, get himself a trophy.
I mean, you know that his bank account would be a hell of a lot better if it wasn't for that. Sometimes I think he wishes he wasn't good at this, because yeah, I mean, honestly, Dalton, once you get one, it's kind of an addiction. And speaking of addictions, we haven't given you guys what we
insane sentence.
Yep. The grand prize for the DDI 365K race. But man, Dalton, those trophies are addicting. I can't lie. They are so beautiful. And like I said, when you're 5 to go, 1 to go, 2 to go, that is on your mind very much. Damn, this thing is going to look good on my wall. I can't wait. And every time you get it done, you can't believe it. You can't believe it, man.
And you know what? There is something we forgot to do, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
Or are we going to go through the race results first?
We'll do the race results. We'll do our standings, but we'll do the race results, then we'll do our surprise. Like I said, we meant to do it when the stage ended, but then
I meant to remind you. I forgot.
Those maniacs just decided to go 4 wide for what, 10 laps.
We couldn't miss that.
What were we supposed to do? But let's take a look at the race results here today. Panzarella again taking home the second win of the season for that 12 truck. He is the driver for the Daily Drivers Inc. 44 ever team. They went into this race, Dalton, with the points advantage for team, so that will likely continue for 44 ever with his teammate finishing in 4th. But Patrick Calgill, this guy just ever so consistent. I'm having flashbacks back to the Precision Racing League with Panzarella and Calgill, just mano a mano, week in, week out. And one tiny slip up being enough to cost one driver a championship. But the different thing about DDIRL is I think there's just so many other drivers here to crash the party. And I think a lot of them here are in this top 10, Dalton. So 3rd place, we have Alex Hillman. We talked about this. Alex Hillman was tied for 3rd place in the standings with Stephen Kirby going into this. I mean,
that's his third podium in a row.
That's crazy. Hillman with for I think over a calendar year now. To describe Hillman in the past, and they are absolutely ones I would now. And Hillman has just completely turned a new leaf, and he's taken that maturity and great decision making, and collect the trophy in this league. I think it would be Alex Hillman. That guy is just always there. Moving on to 4th place, we got Dalton Geyer. Again, one of the better recoveries we've ever seen in this league. Geyer qualifying, I believe, close to where he started, 4th or 5th, and then ends up by virtue of just that absolute craziness on lap 1 that did not bring out a yellow, and there was no yellow to save you at all. Geyer, the only driver able to recover from that and come out of here with a good finish. He comes out in 4th place with a lap led, so a great points day for Geyer, and that's much needed for a driver that we've seen up front. We've seen leading laps, but was kind of clinging on to a chase position more than I think others would expect. 5th place, I think, kind of goes for the same thing right there in terms of a driver that we're expecting to see very high up in our standings, and that's Cody Matthews. Matthews dominating the first race of the season at Daytona. Since then, being consistent, but a lot of bad luck. No such thing today, and that is what happens, I think, when Cody Matthews is able to piece together a straight-up race. You just have a good top 5 from an excellent driver. Matthews is going to be a threat moving forward. 6th place, we talked a lot about this guy today, Dalton. Calgill with a great strategy about halfway, 40% in this race to get himself that position, and he never looked back. And same goes for the 7th place finisher of Sanchez. A little bit on the inverse, doing a very, very big undercut and holding on to pit with everybody else, and he gets the fruits of his labor. Sanchez is going to finish 7th. That's a big day for the number 62 truck. Colton Easterday, he said he doesn't love this track, Dalton, but in 8th place, I think will be very good for Easterday. We saw his incidents of McGivern. No harm, no foul there. No wall contact from anybody. An apology over the radio from Easterday. Colton yesterday going to stay consistent, stay where he needs to stay locked into the chase. Definitely a championship contender, that 95 is. The 33 truck of Grant McGivern continued to be so impressive. He is knocking on the door of a chase spot, and 9th place finishes like that are exactly what's going to get him in there. McGivern continuing to be what 44 ever Daily Drivers Inc. needs to hold on to that points lead. 3 drivers counting, so McGivern going to be that 3rd driver for 44 ever today. 10th place going to be... And Tommy Fox, he's also knocking on the door of that. Just doing what a driver needs to do to get into the chase. A great finish from Fox, riding on our top 10.
And then we go down to 11th. We got Ryan Newman. 12th, we got Jerry Rose. 13th, we got Glenn Grigsby. 14th, we got Cody Gibson, who just didn't have the kind of day he wanted. Got into the wall on that first lap. Had to bring it down pit road, get on that weird kind of strategy, but able to still recover some positions up to 14th. Yeah. Then we got Dylan Beckman in 15th. Got Edward Peltz down in 16th. Juan Delgado ran into trouble. Had something happened probably on pit road or something. Ends up a lap down. And the only car to not be able to finish this race was, unfortunately, Zach Hillman in that 3. Just had some technical difficulties hit at a terrible time.
I've got to say, Dalton, with all that speed that number 3 truck of Zach Hillman has shown all season and all this bad luck he keeps running into, I'm scared for when it all works out for Hillman, because that guy's about to... He looks like the type of driver who's ready to rattle off a pretty crazy run, is Zach Hillman. But we've made them wait long enough, Dalton. I think it's time we show you guys the grand prize for the 365K at Indy Brickyard. So next week, we're going to be doing our next crown jewel race, and it's going to be the Indianapolis Brickyard. I've never raced there ever, Dalton. I just put in some practice laps, and I don't know what Dirty Air is going to do that place, but oh my god, I'm excited. I don't know how you pass at all. But what a fun racetrack. What a fast racetrack. And we're going to do, I think with the exception of the last race of the season, the longest race of our season. And not only with Crown Jewels do these drivers get double race bonus points, so that will be one thing that's very important for these drivers, but we want to make it very, very special, do we not? And we want to give away grand prizes, and not just any grand prize, but grand prizes that I think we can say with confidence that you've never seen in a league before. And without further ado, Dalton, there it is. That is what the lucky winner, and God, I hope I didn't time it 1 week early, Dalton, gets for winning this race. You will get a custom-made quartz watch, luxury watch. So, a little bit about me. I have become a watch nerd in the past, I want to say 2 or 3 months, Dalton. I'm not on camera very often, but I will be one day. And if you look behind me, when I'm on camera here, I have about 1,000 diecasts behind me. And the watch collection is catching up at a concerning rate. And I have gone headfirst into it, man. And I've learned everything there is to know about these. And what makes a watch special. And if you don't know, I very much urge you, if you're seeing words on the screen that are like, what the hell does that mean? I very much urge you to read up on what makes watches crazy and so cool. And I'll try my best to cliff notes and explain why I'm excited about this specific one, Dalton. So first of all, this is a 40mm stainless steel case, so stainless steel, unlike the quote-unquote stainless steel on the Cybertruck, doesn't stain. Crazy concept, right, Dalton? So beautiful case this watch will come in. A 40mm is it's a good size in my opinion. It's small enough to where if you're a small wrist person, it's not gonna look, goofy on your wrist. But if you're a bigger wrist person, it's still gonna fill your wrist very nicely. You're gonna look really, really good. A red and black rotating bezel. So that is the outside portion there where you see the 10, the 20, the 30, 40, and 50. That portion there rotates, and that there's different functions for every watch that may end up being a different number scheme up there. So I won't go too into detail about what the function of that is, but high quality dive style watches like this, they rotate, Dalton. A lot of them don't, but this one does. So you can rotate that. This one specifically, you could use it to track time. So if you wanted to see how much time had passed, you could rotate that and use your watch to do that for you. a Japanese quartz movement. So that just has to do with the way the watch, like the ticker moves. All this part is by far the coolest to me, but the most boring to non-watch nerds. Just know that a Japanese quartz movement isn't cheap. It's a nice movement. It's automatic, which means it's powered by a battery. We'll include an extra battery for years from now when that does die. But that is the movement that comes with this watch. In the future, Dalton, that's actually you're not a watch nerd, right?
I know nothing about watches.
Okay, so movement is like where all the money comes from. Like for a lot of watches, like a Rolex, for example, like people nerd out over the movement. If you're looking at a fake Rolex, the movement is how a lot of people would identify it as inauthentic. So having a nice movement on your watch is important, and this watch has that. The custom DDI wreath dial, that's that gold thing you see right there above the, or actually right there below the midnight 12 o'clock dial right there, the arrow. That will be a gold 3D metal DDI dial. Look at us, Dalton. Who'd have thunk? Not me. Watches?
Watches, man.
That's crazy. See, our logo will be on there. Nice and small, nice and subtle, nice and tasteful. Because also, one more thing I want to touch on the bezel, Dalton. The black and red, not unintentional. Very much we chose those colors to celebrate the bricks, right? Black and red, I think I felt was a good color scheme to kind of give you that indie feeling, and what's more iconic at that track than the bricks themselves. So the luminous dial markers, that has to do with the little circles you see around the outside the watch there. If you hold this watch under the sun or under any light, and then you turn out the lights, the watch will glow on its own. It doesn't have any battery required for that. That's not the battery working to do that. Those absorb, kind of like how solar power works. It absorbs energy and it lights up for you. So if you're diving, like what these watches are for, you can see underwater late at night. If you were underneath a light source, you'd be able to read your watch. So that's a cool feature that really only comes with high quality watches. And then we're going to engrave your name and the race details, probably the laps you led, how many laps the race was, fun details on the back. And then pictured here, you see the black metal band, but we'll also include a black silicone band and a black leather band. Metal, not everyone's thing. It can get hot. Maybe you don't enjoy sweating. So we'll include a bunch of other band options, as well as the tools you need to remove links to make sure this watch fits you perfect. Cleaning it, a box to display it beautifully when you're not wearing it, a battery for when that battery does go. And also, of course, we're going to give you some Daily Drivers Inc. Racing League accessories, such as like a shirt and a bunch of other awesome DDIRL stuff. So, Dalton, I'm gonna be generous here, Dalton. I'm gonna be generous for myself. Months, 3 to 4 months, I'd say, to build this watch. But we've already gotten started on it. But obviously we have to customize the back for you, and all that stuff. But I can't wait to get this on the wrist of the winner. And we talked a lot about KK Woodscapes, and that trophy so special. And I would obviously get one made for winning that race as well. Because also, Dalton, we talked about how the trophies are the shape of the track. Indy sounds like a badass trophy. I don't know about you, that sounds like a badass trophy. But man, I'm really excited to get this on one of our drivers' wrists and give them something that I feel like there's no way any other league has done this for you before. I just want I want people to or I'm hoping that people can we can give away mementos that are as special as genuinely what it feels like for you and I to be running this league. This is, I think, our way of trying to return the favor and show you guys how appreciative we are of what this league has been.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is going to be, the kind of thing that you can wear out. You can wear to work. You can show your buddies like, hey, check this out. I won this. I had to beat like 20 other guys to get this.
Oh, exactly, man. And that's what I also wanted to accomplish with this build. Is I wanted it to be a watch to. Maybe you're not a watch guy. Maybe you don't, haven't worked into wearing one as often as I do now. I wear them around the house, Dalton. I work from home and I wear it around the house. I'm pathetic. But this is a watch that I truly think will just display beautifully. If you just want to keep it as a trophy and never wear it, you'll still love it just as much. I truly believe that. I'm just so excited. And again, As this league grows, Dalton, like I nerded out over movement a little bit, but there's movements that I could throw into watches that will blow these guys' mind. There's watch builds that I can do that. I mean, I guess I'll let you guys in on a little bit of insight. Building an actual Rolex isn't as expensive as they sell it for. You can build a unbelievably high quality watch for a couple $100s. And I would love to do that for this league in the future. This is a cost-effective, ultra high quality watch, in my opinion. Would likely retail well over $100. But I can't wait to watch this league grow and just give away bigger and better gifts of even higher quality. I can't wait to give away watches that are worth thousands of dollars in the future of this league, and give away a trophy that you can't wear because it's too valuable. Or you wouldn't want to, right? Like I own a few watches that I don't. You buy them, you're so excited about them, and you're like, I'm not wearing this thing out. I'm not trying to get jumped. So I'm hoping to give away those watches in the future. But this is a really, really exciting start. I want to thank everyone in this league, our admin team, you, Dalton, Patrick Cowgill, Hunter Hall, Steve Fugay, everyone who's helped make this league possible, and all the drivers on track who have made these things possible. This was a crazy idea that Dalton and I came up with. What, dude? Months before we actually started the league, kind of like, oh, that'd be funny. And the fact that the participation, the passion, the racing, the overall vibe around this league is so overwhelmingly positive to make this a reality is it's truly special.
And you talked about the participation, which to be fair, it's been less than it was in the previous weeks, but I feel like this is the kind of thing here that that you might look at the standings and be like, oh, what's the point of showing up? I'm not in contention for the chase, really. I might not make the be able to make all these races, get the hit the threshold to compete for a championship or the the best of the rest. But we still have these individual race kind of prizes,
right,
where you can say, I'm gonna come out this week and try to win something.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And that's another thing that I think is really, really exciting. And I think one thing that, I mean, obviously, like 18 beggars can't be choosers in terms of like today's turnout. Very, very satisfied. I mean, again, I'm always a glass half full person, especially since we've started this league. I've been very, very glass half full about it. Unless it comes to you and I think we're very hard on each other as league admins. But when it comes to participation, race quality, and just the overall vibe, which is a word I overuse. But yeah, it's been incredibly positive, and this is just another thing that I couldn't agree more. Gives you another reason to show up, but also to touch on that, Dalton. And this is no shade to other leagues who do this, and I completely understand why. But I think, and again, while if you are watching and you're someone who wasn't able to make it today, or maybe running part-time in this league, and why we'd love for you to show up and continue to fill these fields 20 plus, we have not made an effort to expand this league now that the season has gotten going. And I'm trying to like phrase this in a way that kind of gets across what I'm getting at, what I'm leading to, if you understand, Dalton. Like we've had offers for other people to join, but we've been so happy with this group of drivers that we felt like this roster deserves to race like what the guys who showed up in the exhibition races, and the way we built this roster, right? So I mean, we could make this roster bigger if we wanted to, but these drivers week in, week out, today being another glowing example, showing us why this racing, this product is just, it's worth protecting. And I'm confident that every driver registered to this series, all 30 plus of them, would not touch the dignity of what we have here, the integrity of what this racing is. But me and Dalton on our end have been very diligent about protecting that. So hoping to see bigger fields. I mean, does that make sense, Dalton?
Yeah, and we haven't really had to enforce that really yet, Right. Everybody kind of came in knowing the deal, it seems like. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, I mean, not to get too like inside baseball here, but and there are guys that haven't shown up yet that still have their invites in the old inbox that are welcome anytime. So I mean, is, you know, there's plenty of room for expansion at this point. But you know, I think it's only natural for things to kind of taper off halfway through the season as you know, people have to make time for other things, and you know, it's just you know, stuff gets in the way.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, hopefully 18 is the extent of it. I mean, I'm not. I raced the lake. I'm not gonna say what league, but I raced a league last week, Dalton, with. I'm still very glass half full, very appreciative. But again, we are all in on this roster, on the names on this roster right now. We want to tell your guys' stories. We want to give your guys your moment in the sun. And I hope we're doing that every broadcast here. But that's another reason, too, why we're trying to keep this roster tight and trying to keep the same drivers week in and week out. Not only to give you guys an incredibly exciting championship battle, but also to tell everyone's story here so you guys can really get to know all the guys who have taken a chance on this league and made the racing as incredible as it is. So I've been so excited about that. But speaking of them, Dalton, before we say goodbye to all you beautiful people, let's take a look at our standings. These are updated standings, and this is with the drop race included. So here we go. And I'm not gonna lie, Dalton, it's less movement than I expected. What are your can you see it well? What are your initial thoughts?
Well, I think naturally what we were going to see is guys who missed a race were going to move further up the board, and you know, guys who, you know, unfortunately, I guess kind of the side effect is that, you know, guys with kind of more consistent across the board finishes were gonna lose a bit more because they, you know, their drop race was just going to be, you know, worth more points. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and it looks like, you know, I'm looking, I got my eye, Stephen Kirby down there, still maintaining the base spot despite,
yep,
you know, despite everything.
Took the words out of my mouth. That's who I was. Now I have to pick someone. Okay, I have someone else, but that I was looking at Kirby too, Dalton. That's the virtue of the drop race, is it not? Kirby has shown it for 3 out of 5 races, but I guess now with this drop, you can look at it as 3 out of 4, right? Because that's essentially what everyone's been counted for now. But Kirby still, I don't want to say comfortably. I certainly don't want to say comfortably, but he's in the chase. But man, you know what I'm looking at, Dalton? I'm looking at 4th place. I mean, granted, so we haven't touched on this yet. There are just not even the chase back. God, the chase sucked. This is such a better version of it. But the chase back then, it didn't matter if you came in 1st place leading in the chase, did it? You just went even. But in ours, it will be, I think it's 10 points for the winner of our regular season championship, which would be Panzarella right now, and then it just goes down 1 until you get to, right now it would be Tommy Fox with 1 point. But if that didn't exist, look at Cody Matthews, Dalton. He would enter the chase with more points than Zach Panzarella.
Is that I don't know if that's playoff points. I think that might just be the in-race bonus points.
I'm just that for playoff points. That's just bonus race points.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
Cool.
calculate that by hand. I think those playoff points.
I love finding out that I have more votes. Well, never mind then. Decent. I don't want to speculate too hard here. I with what you just said, Dalton, I'm thinking Panzarella looking pretty good. He has 2 stage wins to his name, 2 poles, and 2 race wins. We'll take a look here.
Are we about to try to make you do math live?
No, God,
here?
no. God, no. No, I'm speculating. I'm just going off, like, generalities here. Jeez, no. Math?
Yeah, no, true. Yeah, I'd imagine Panzarella probably, and he's gonna have that perfect attendance Yeah, that's we'll have that math together soon. We're good. We're good.
Okay, Dalton, of course, until the very, very end. Well, actually, I should, again, beggars can't be choosers. Thank God it waited till the end for our audio to hit the fan. But you know what that tells me? It's probably time to say goodnight to these people, is it not?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's probably your computer telling us to say goodbye to these people.
My computer's saying go hang out with your wife and go have a life. So, wow. Oh, man. That dodged a bullet there, I'm not going to lie. I'm like a tiny bit, like, not shook up, but I'm like, oh my gosh, that was scary. But amazing race. One more shout out to KK Woodscapes, the sponsor of this race. Check them out on Instagram. That's KK Woodscapes. Again, and that's also Kevin Kyle, who owns that business. He is a admin of this league and also someone you can find in our Discord. Hit him up for your next big iRacing accomplishment. If you have one in the past that you want to commemorate, definitely hit him up. Cannot say enough good things about his great trophies. We promised you pictures of that this week, and I did not deliver. So I promise next week we'll hit you guys up with some pictures of those beautiful trophies. But thank you so much to Kevin Kyle and KK Woodscapes for sponsoring this race here for the DDIRL. And what another amazing race here. This time, we didn't mention this, Dalton. We have not given these guys a break. We have not given them any normal racetracks. We have not given them a repeat at all. And next week is no exception. We're going to a different shape, a different length. We're going to the Brickyard for the DDI 365K, the longest race of the season up to this point, with an amazing grand prize on the line. That beautiful watch you see on screen right there is what these drivers will be racing for next Wednesday over at Indy, probably the most iconic racetrack in this country. But what an amazing, amazing race today here at California Speedway, the hometown of this league itself, the hometown of the two guys in the booth with you, and a race that's a very, very special to have here on the schedule and also to win personally. So amazing, and I cannot thank everyone enough who joined us, watched along with us today. It was on the track and putting on just another incredible show. If you ever want to see just unbelievable sim racing in a truck, come check the DDIRL every Wednesday. And also VRN, oh man, we should touch on this too, Dalton. There's so much to get to, so I'll just hit it real quick. But we are expanding here on VRN. We're about to have a full schedule, and it's starting next week. It's about to be Monday night MRL. Monday Night Mayhem will be starting up in about 2 or 3 weeks here on this channel. Come hang out with me and Mean Gene Money as we cover, in my opinion, the best next-gen league on the planet. And then on Tuesdays, new acquisition, and starting next Tuesday, this network will be covering the BRL Bonfire Race League Truck Series. Unbelievably excited to be calling that series. This network, formerly the home of the Sunday Night Cup Series. You guys are going to see a lot of familiar faces there in that league, and a lot of new faces too, and maybe some that you're used to from this league and from Thursdays over in MRL. But so excited to be bringing that awesome league over to this network. So on Tuesday nights around 9 p.m. Around 11 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 Eastern, we will be broadcasting BRL Truck Series, and we'll be with you guys for the rest of their season this year. And then, of course, on Wednesdays, you got this amazingly, the DDIRL Truck Series and their inaugural season. We are putting on a world-class series with some of the best drivers in the world, especially below 3K. I don't think you're going to find a better combination of drivers. Come watch these guys, learn from them, and find potentially your new home for what I think may be the best truck driving or truck racing in all of the sim racing world right now. And then probably a close second, I'm not going to lie, is Thursday nights, another new acquisition, and coming in the next couple of weeks will be MRL Thursday Night Thriller Truck Series. Defending champion Zap Panzarella will be looking to defend his trophy over there in that league over people like David Owens, Dalton Geyer, AJ Benesh, and tons of other Joseph Volpis, Jax Duvall, a stacked league over there in the MRL Thursday nights, a league that has been putting on a show for well over 3 years, and we just recently acquired them for the VRN. So Monday through Thursday, Dalton, we got 4 incredible races for you guys, 3 different leagues. Man, we are just on top of the world right now, and I could not be more excited.
Can't get enough trucks. Cannot get enough trucks.
No,
Got
you really
trucks
can't.
3 nights in a row.
Yeah, we really tried for some variety, but it just didn't happen. At least they get them next gens on Monday, and maybe that's why. That's the one that you won't see Zach Pinzarello on the track for, because I'm definitely putting up a mirage about how good I am in these things. I'm not gonna lie. But damn, that roster is stacked over there on Mondays. Oh, I love that league. Genuinely my favorite league to cover as a broadcaster. Love covering that league. Love being the voice of MRL Monday Night Mayhem with Mean Gene. Such a privilege for me. But couldn't be more excited to get this all started. I will be in the booth for a handful of those leagues, but you guys have amazing booths coming your way every day of the week, besides Friday. But head over to MRL Broadcasting for Fridays and their awesome ARCA series, our sister league. But could not be more excited, Dalton, and could be more excited for the future of this league. We have officially crossed the halfway point, and we are on the second half of the inaugural DDIRL. That is a tongue twister once you upset it 20 times. Inaugural season, and it cannot be going better, and the competition is only heating up. Panzarella becoming the first driver ever to collect 2 wins in this league, but I don't think anyone is far behind, and those who haven't visited Victory Lane yet are just knocking on that door. I'm looking at you, Alex Hillman, Dalton Geyer, Zach Hillman, oh man, Yabara, Zab, so many
Patrick
guys.
Cowgill.
Patrick Cal. Oh my goodness, how's Patrick Cowgill not won a race yet as he finds himself second in points comfortably? This league, only the beginning, Dalton. Could not be more excited. But I want to thank everyone for joining us today. What a great time we had here at California Speedway. Just getting to race on this track for as long as we still can and making it work. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Thank you to all our sponsors: Daily Drivers Inc., Tuner Squad, KK Woodscapes, Vortex Racing Network, Salmon Amateur Stores, Sleep Stay, playing that beautiful music you hear right now, and everybody else who helps make this league possible. We love you all, and we will see you for our next crown jewel next Wednesday at the Yard of Bricks in Indianapolis. Have a great night, everybody.